Testing, testing. Just checking a few things here. We'll get this radar up for you guys. We're going to cover this Hurricane Layla here. Um, we'll get to you in just a second. Hello, we're going to be getting Facebook hooked up here, so just a few more minutes. I'm going to play the kind of the radar loop of the hurricane moving into Hawaii. We'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, guys, we're back here. We got up YouTube and Facebook, so welcome in. I'm just going to kind of be going over a few of these hurricane warnings here. I'm just going to this is the live radar, current radar loop here. Going to kind of put in some velocity and to see what kind of some of them wind gusts are, kind of moving into that southwestern part of Hawaii there. Let's see, let's get that up there. So we're getting about 65-mile-an-hour winds coming onshore, Hurricane Layla. So that is definitely got some strong gusty winds in there. That's right along. Let's try to zoom in a little further. See if you guys can see some of them towns. I'm not even going to try to pronounce some of them towns because I do not want to butcher those. Even though that might be a fun literature for me is try to say those names. Yeah, you can see those as my cursor goes there. You can kind of see those wind gusts right in the town of there. Highest one was 64 miles an hour. This one was about 55. Kind of zoom back out here. That's the velocity. That's the winds coming onshore with hurricane. We'll go to some rainfall estimates. What we've gotten so far. We pull that map up. This is storm total accumulations. You can see it's anywhere from about 3 to 5 inches, more towards the eastern half of the island there. You kind of see those 6, almost 7 inches up into there. Kind of zoom in to see if we can get some more towns in there. Glenwood, you're right about 5.5 inches. Mountain View, a little over 3 3/4 inches. Yeah, they got some heavy rainfall in the island there coming onshore. Those are rainfall storm total estimates as of right now. And we'll go back to radar and kind of see where that eye is at. You can see the eye still off to the south of the island, kind of moving. Let's see if we can get a outlook on this. See where as you can kind of see there with the outlook. It's a hurricane there, then it's going to pass just south of the island and turn into a tropical storm. Kind of move on out to the west of the islands. Further view out. We could probably, let's see if we can click on one of those and see what day and time. Max wind gust, yeah, they're saying about 60 knots, about 70 miles per hour. The hurricane, like right now where it's stationed, we'll get some numbers up out of there. They're around 80 knots, so around 92 mph around that center of the eye, which is a Hurricane 1 intensity. More info on it to project the trajectory of the hurricane and tropical force winds through there. Cannot make that screen bet. It's hard to read. That is the path that it's going to be taking. Front of that storm is probably going to be today out there. We'll turn it back to radar again. Get you zoomed in. Take a drink here. Yeah, we just looked. That's around 92-mile-an-hour winds right along that eye wall and along the western eye wall there. So that's going to be ramping up, and it's going to go just south of the islands, like we said. We'll keep an eye on that. If anything changes or the track changes, we'll definitely break back in and we'll show you guys. I know I did see one of our followers was from Hawaii. I think they're from the Honolulu area, which that storm's going to go well south of you, which you might catch a couple rain bands further out in the next couple days. Um, United States, we'll get back to the United States here. We'll zoom back out of that. We do have a couple areas to monitor. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch. Pull up the radar there. Severe thunderstorm watch in eastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, kind of on that western fringe of Denver, Colorado. That kind of goes all the way down to the southeastern part of Colorado. Then we have a couple different areas of mesoscale discussions. We can kind of pull up this one here. Watch is probable of a 60%, so there is probable a 60% watch. The winds are going to be that 65 to 80 mile an hour range. Hail's inch to inch and 3/4 size and diameter. So you're going to get some gusty winds of 80 miles an hour, 60 to 80 mile an hour, and then inch to inch and a half, quarter size hail. That's for this mesoscale discussion right here, around my cursor here. We'll pull up a radar there, then we'll go around and look at the other mesoscale discussions. And kind of pull in on one of these severe thunderstorm warnings that's currently ongoing. So yeah, we have a severe thunderstorm warning from northwestern Pueblo County, Pueblo, southeastern Las Amas County in southeastern Colorado until 4 p.m. Mountain Time. The storm has produced 60 mile an hour winds and quarter size hail. That is in southeastern Las Anamas County. Sorry for the pronunciation. I'm butchering that name. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's one of those storms right there that you're kind of seeing right there. It's 60 mile an hour and quarter size hail. That area. We'll kind of zoom back up here by Denver. Change radars here. And right now there's just a special weather statement on this one right here. Northeast, or we'll just say east of Greeley. Let me pull that up for you guys. At 3:26, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm 8 miles north of Riverside Reservoir, 25 miles northwest of Fort Morgan, moving east at 10 miles an hour. So it's a slow mover. Wind gusts up to 50 and penny-sized hail. So it's right on the cuff of a severe thunderstorm warning. So quite not there yet, but it is a special weather statement on this cell here. And then we'll zoom back out here and we'll go over to the Iowa area where there's another mesoscale discussion issued. The severe watch potential on this one's is at 40%, but don't let your guard down. These storms can produce. So this one is the watch, or not the watch, but the hazards on it is 60 mile an hour winds and up to 1.25 inch size hail on that mesoscale discussion. I'll kind of click back out and around that area there. I'll pull up that radar, and there's a couple cells that are starting to fire there. Moulton, Iowa, just southeast of there. Bloomfield, Iowa, just east of you. Pulaski, Iowa, just right there. So there is storms starting to fire there. So be on the lookout for 60 mile an hour winds and 1.25 inch size hail anywhere in that red shaded area. And our last mesoscale discussion is very eastern Indiana, right into western Ohio area. Kind of zoom in a little bit closer for you guys to pull that. Get the radar pulled up for that one. And right now it's pretty quiet, but we'll pull up the probabilities of this. That's at same 40% watch possible, but like we said, stay on the lookout. This does have winds up to 90 mile an hour, 60 to 90 mile an hour in this area here. So within the next, I would say maybe hour, there'll be maybe a watch issued here. There's a 40% chance of that happening. We will pull up the outlook for those areas and kind of see back to the Storm Prediction Center. effective. Yeah, and there's that bullseye right there. Um, that's going to be in the bigger towns of Columbus, Lancaster, Dayton, Middletown, Cincinnati, Huntington, Kentucky there. So be on the lookout in those areas. We'll go up to see if there's a tornado. Yep, there's that 2% tornado risk. That's why they're saying that 90-mile-an-hour winds definitely could be possible. So keep your alert on and keep aware. There's that wind risk, 15%. Hail, there's really going to be, I wouldn't say none, but there is going to be some through there, but that's it. It's less than 15%. And out here, out in the first ones we talked about in Colorado and Nebraska and Wyoming, there is a 15% chance of hail out there when those storms first go, and there's going to be pretty decent hail. The wind, they do have a SIG one labeled out there in the black there with the dashes. That's an upgrade there. Then this slight 15% risk for wind, then marginal in the brown there, out there. The tornado, really none in there, but anytime we have a severe thunderstorm warning, you always got to be careful. You can always get a sneaky tornado to pop up, quick spin up. So because it's not in the 2%, doesn't mean you're not going to have one. So always keep your eyes and ears peeled to the sky or any weather radios. So that's kind of the outlooks that we have going on right now. I'll kind of zoom out bigger so you guys can see that, those areas. So yes, yeah, I just wanted to get on and talk about the hurricane and out in Hawaii. Kind of went over that first. We'll go back to that here. Pull it off to the Hawaii, go up to the radar. See that kind of well-defined eye there? We'll put this through the motion. You guys can look at that. Like we said earlier, there's some 90-mile-an-hour winds in there. Let's do the velocity again. Zoom into that, guys, so you can see those. There's those 60 to 70 to 80-mile-an-hour winds right there on that eastern side of that eye wall. It's wrapping up pretty good there. The velocities. Tell just the very tip of the island there is getting caught with that 60-mile-an-hour winds. But up here, we're still getting the 70s right along the river or the ocean front there. We'll see if it has a model, if it picks it up here. HRRR, the 20Z. I'm not sure if it does that or not. I'm not sure. Never really. This is my first time covering a hurricane on this. Started this with 605 chasers for me. Sure, Henry has done a little bit with that, but we'll go back to radar. Looks like they do have a flood warning or flood. Yeah, let me pull that up here. Yeah, flood warning. I'll read off some info here. Flash flood warning for the island of Hawaii and Hawaii County. Um, Additional heavy rain bands anticipated over the next few hours, especially across the Kau and Puna districts. Radar estimates that rain is falling at a rate of 1 inch to 2.5 inches per hour. Flash flooding is ongoing or to begin shortly. So that's a lot of rain, 2.5 inches per hour. That's a good healthy rain. That's go up to the radar. Kind of see in that gray or that green outline there, that whole area is in that 2.5 to inch per hour rainfall rates. Let that play through again for you guys. There's that eye wall. Looks like it is tightening up just a little bit more there. Sure, it's running into some really warm water. We'll go back to the stateside here. Sorry, I can't see the chat. I don't have it pulled up. I only have my two screens, so they're kind of full right now. So if anybody has any questions, can jot them down and I can answer them after the live's over and you guys can go back and look. But as of right now, I can't see any of the live chat. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're going to go back into western Nebraska here. We'll pull up a radar here. Yep, that's current radar. Start to see there's some more special weather statements here starting to pop off. So we're about right in the prime time of the day of when these storms are starting to fire up there. So, but there's really no warnings there yet, just special weather statements. We'll click into one of them and just see what it says. At 3:37 Mountain Time, Doppler radar was tracking a severe thunderstorm 7 miles south of Roberts Trailhead Campground, or 19 miles southwest of Chatter, moving east at 25 miles an hour. The hazard with this storm is 50 to 55-mile-an-hour winds, penny-sized hail. So it's just on the cusp of going severe thunderstorm warning here. These storms. We'll zoom down to Colorado here. Pull up the other radar. We still have just that one special weather statement so far, but there's, you can see these are starting to get going here. We'll pull up echo tops on one of these and to see what they are reading here. Let me stop it there. About 50,000 feet, so they're maturing. You can see that quite a bit of lightning along with those. Kind of, you can see it produced there, how it's going into that yellow, brown, and going into that orange. So that's, they're still growing. Right when they first started, they were about 40,000 feet, and right now they're about 51,000 feet. So they're still raising. So, and the vertically integrated liquid here was that kind of shows the hail core. You can kind of see the special weather statement one here. That's right on the cusp of going severe warning. It's got some pretty good numbers there for some hail. On this, radar indicated for 1 hour accumulation. You're looking anywhere. This is all radar sourced here. So they're looking like 2 inches there. I'll kind of zoom in. We can pick up a town or anything. Not really. Just, I would say east of Kersey, Colorado, about 2 inches. Just northeast of Kersey, about 2 inches. So it is dropping some heavy rain as well. Up here, I think this one might have just dropped a flash flood warning. Yeah, I pull how much is falling through there. And that's, pull that info up. Flash flood warning for west central Dawes County in the Panhandle of Nebraska, northeastern Sioux County in the Panhandle of Nebraska until 3:45 p.m. At 2:47 Mountain Time, Doppler radar indicated severe thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between a ½ inch and 1.25 inches of rain have fallen. Expect rainfall rates between 1.5 to 3 inches an hour. Flash flooding is ongoing or will begin shortly. So that's dumping a lot of rain there. We'll pull that radar up, what we could see there. Yeah, that was ongoing. This is that cell that moved through there right there. So that's what prompted that flash flood warning up there, which has expired now. So I expect these to kind of keep going. There, let's look up into Sturgis and see what they got with the Sturgis bike rally ongoing last couple days here. Looks like they're just getting some rain through there right now. Heavier rain down into the Rapid City, Hermosa area, Hill City, just east of Hill City. I'm sure there is some bikers out there riding the nice roads out there, seeing the nice scenery. Yep. So be aware of there some heavy downpours and it's probably frequent lightning out there. It kind of looks like. So be careful out there if you guys are on your bikes. pull up there, eastern Wyoming here. Storms kind of fired right before that severe thunderstorm watch there. Let's see when that severe thunderstorm watch is out till 10 p.m. tonight. I'll zoom out and you guys can see it there. The slow severe thunderstorm warning, or sorry, watch is out till 10 p.m. Mountain Time, all along the Front Range there. So keep that in mind. Yeah, those storms are just firing just west of the watch area. This is a special weather statement here. We'll kind of see what this one says. At 3:27 p.m. Mountain Time, Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms 11 miles northwest of Fort Fetterman Historic Site, or 18 miles northwest of Douglas, moving east at 30 mile an hour. The wind gusts on this, like we said the last couple, since it's a special weather statement, are just below that warning criteria. And they are at 50 to 55 miles an hour with nickel-sized hail. Again, that is radar indicated, not spotted or observed. So heads up on those. It's like the Front Range is going to be kind of active again here in the next few hours. So we're ongoing. And move back over to the Iowa area and see if anything is starting to fire up there. And in the same areas there north of Lancaster, Missouri, moving into that Iowa, east of Bloomfield. We'll do the echo tops on these ones here and see what they are. Yeah, these are only about 35,000 feet throughout all those. So see if they kind of really haven't matured since they've been moving. They're kind of just staying right about that 25 to 30,000 feet range. You see if I have the right, I might have another radar pulled up for that. So let me go back to that echo top. Yeah, they're still about that 30. I had the right radar. Radar pulled up. Check any velocity, check some wind. Yeah, 20 mile an hour, 25 miles an hour. Those storms pushing through. We'll check these down in Ohio here. Earlier, there wasn't nothing really firing. There's some storms starting to get going there. Um, right, right north of Payne, Ohio. Gonna play that through for you guys. We have another radar pulled up here. Kind of look at those echo tops, see if those are growing, and we kind of look and see if there's any hail. Yeah, these are just getting going, so it's only about 15 to 20,000 feet right now. These ones are about the same, so very, very, if there's any hail falling at all, it'd be very small. So back to radar. But yep, it looks like they're just gonna start getting going here. Be on for a little bit longer. I'm gonna see if I can get a chat pulled up here. See what we can see here. I'll let this radar, I'm gonna kind of zoom back out. I'll kind of put the national do have a severe thunderstorm warning down in Alabama here. Kind of pop that up for you guys and let you look at it. There's a special thing. I don't know if a lot of you guys know. You can kind of see those storms there throwing an outflow boundary out. Kind of see that those long lines there. I can see if I can draw it here. I'll get it stopped here at the end. Kind of see it. Kind of see that outflow getting pushing down from the north to the south and from the west to the east there. So that's kind of neat how those storms kind of push an outflow out in front of the storm. So those winds will be, anywhere from we can measure this out real quick just to see how far those winds are actually out from the storm. Looks like about 8 miles before those storms get all the way out there in front of those outflow. Yeah, about 8 to 10 miles. That's kind of neat to look at too. Weatherfront does a great job with all their tools they have on here. Line there for you guys. So yeah, you can kind of see that outflow there pushing through. Let's see what that severe thunderstorm warning says. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 5 p.m. Central Standard Time for southwestern Dale and southeastern Coffee and central Geneva counties in Alabama. At 4:44 Central Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line from Ozark to Geneva, moving east at 20 mph. The hazard on these storms are 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and those are radar indicators. So be on the lookout for those, and I'll kind of let you guys see them back in there. Storms are kind of pushing towards Newton, Dalesville, kind of already went through level plains. Playhatchie, Alabama, that's kind of moving towards you. I'll try to do see if I can pull that up here. I'll kind of give you guys a time those will be through you. They're moving at 40 to the east southeast here. So Daleville in 2 minutes at 4:52. That should bring through you. Playhatchie, 4:53. Newton, 5 o'clock. Packard, 5:06. Slocum, 5:08. Midland, 5:10. Melbourne, 5:13. Naperville, Grimes, Taylor, all about that 5:15 to 5:17. So in about 20 minutes, those should be heading your guys' way. Playing the radar again. We'll zoom back out there. That was the only severe thunderstorm warning for those 3 counties there in Alabama. We'll kind of go back over to this area and see. Looks like they're just starting to get going there, right along that Oklahoma Panhandle up into southwestern Kansas. There's some special weather statements, and these are finally starting to, they turned severe warn now. Kind of zoom in on this one here. This one looks like kind of a bigger one here. Severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Baca County and southeastern Colorado, east central Las Vegas County, Manamis County, and southeastern Colorado until 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So those were issued at 3:21 Mountain Time. They're looking at 60-mile-an-hour winds now and quarter-size hail with this storm here. Right near Pritchett. I'm sorry if I'm butchering those names. I'm sure I am, but that's in Colorado, just to the west of Springfield and just right west of Pritchett. And this one is a severe thunderstorm warning now as well. Severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Austin. So that expired here at 4 o'clock Mountain Time. So that's just getting ready to see. It prompted the warning as weekend below severe limits is no longer poses immediate threat. So that one's going to be allowed to expire. So pull up that radar for you guys here closer in depth. We'll just pull an echo top off of this one, just kind of see what's at. I kind of like looking at that, just how sure that storm is. Pull that up. Yeah, 52,000 feet. So yeah, that when we first came online, that was about 40,000 feet. So that's kind of really growing there. All that lightning, it's kind of moving due north. You can kind of put a storm tracker on it. Let me go back to the radar. storm track. We'll put that right there. It's kind of a densely populated area, so I think we're going to be okay. There's really nothing out there when it's moving north, which is good. There's that flood watch out there. New severe thunderstorm warning for Cheyenne and Kimball, Nebraska. We'll move up to that one there as you've seen it pop up on the radar there on the screen. There it is right there. Change radars. Sometimes you always got to make sure you when you go from one radar site to another that you change it, because otherwise it doesn't do the radar reflectivity justice. But yeah, we'll pull that little info tag up here. Thunderstorm warning for southwestern Cheyenne County in the Panhandle of Nebraska, southeastern Kimball County in the Panhandle of Nebraska until 4:45 Mountain Time. At 3:55, a severe thunderstorm is located 11 miles south of Kimball Municipal Airport at 14 miles south of Kimball, moving northeast at 20. 50-mile-an-hour wind and quarter-size hail is the main report radar indicated with this storm. I'll do a tracker on this one for you guys. So it looks like it's going to be in Dix, Nebraska in 19 minutes at 5:15. Potter, Nebraska in about 27 minutes at 5:23. That's a nice little tracker with this feature of weather-wise. You can kind of pull that up, kind of look at that. So Potter and Dix. So Dix will be in about 5:15. Potter will be around 5:23 p.m. when that mountain time when that storm reaches your guys' area and crosses I-80. Everything else is still the same. Still special weather statements. Kind of do a track on this one. This is kind of in that densely aerated area too. Moving at 40. So Glendale, Wyoming at 5:26 Mountain Time. Orion at 5:26 as well. So those are the two areas that are going to be impacted with this severe thunderstorm. And that's 60-mile-an-hour hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds with 1-inch hail on this one, radar indicated. The storm there. Kind of play that through there for you. Kind of see that ramp up there from just the reds, the yellows, and it goes to pink. So it's definitely getting stronger as it moves northeast. Yeah, let me see now if I can get some like pull up a chat here and see if you've got any questions. Hey, thanks, Nate. Kind of looking at the chat now that I can see it on my phone. Pull up YouTube real quick. What I can see. But yep, those are the storms that are kind of going on the front range there. I'll have to shut down my volume there. So there's that severe thunderstorm warning in Colorado and Baca and Las Aminas again. Came up on our ticker there. So far today, this is the state reports we had today. So I like that number where it's at. The last few days, in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, that area has just been getting storm after storm after storm. So nice to see that on the lower end now. Kind of pull up some other radars here as we kind of see some of them storms starting to fire here just down Beatrice, Nebraska, Geneva, York. That radar site pulled up. Blair, Nebraska, Missouri Valley, just north of Omaha, has a little cell popping up. I'll zoom out here so you see a little bit of the area. Kind of been in the cloud cover all day here at the studios here in Vermilion and Sioux Falls. So I'll kind of pull up a satellite. I think if we would have had some more clearing earlier in the day, I think we could have got some storms to pop further north. Um, just with the cloud cover all day kind of hampered that. And you can kind of see on satellite those storms that are popping, the sandhills in Nebraska, Wyoming, kind of see those things just grow like a cauliflower, especially in that Kansas there. You can kind of really see. This is one thing 605 chasers when we're out in the field, when we're chasing. This is kind of the main map we look at day of and the hours heading up to the ignition. We kind of look at those cumulus clouds and see how they kind of bubble, and you kind of see where they very first form, and that's kind of how we tell where the storms are going to be. Like down here in the, doesn't always mean a storm, but that's what we watch. Those right there, get that so you guys can see that. Kind of see those moving. By liberal, you kind of see how they just got bigger, how they popped. That's in more favorable area. If you guys like what you're seeing, we're going to start doing some more like what I would say it's going to be for our subscribed users on all platforms. We're going to kind of go into more depth of what we do and what we look at prior to storm chase days and day of. So we're going to get more in depth here, giving up some material for five chasers of what we're looking at on the day ofs and days prior to storm chasing. Henry, he looks like about the 14-day out and kind of keeps us informed, and we kind of all start looking about that. I look about the 7 days out, 5 days. Trace, he does a good job of really looking at the models. So does Jeff. We got a new addition under our team, and I'll let Henry announce all that. So I'll just let him say that. But yeah, we're growing our team here at 605, so that's great. We're getting bigger. We're going to be doing a lot more videos like this and informational videos of what we're looking for, how the storms form, and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for all that. Kind of look at this Beatrice one. I can kind of see that white cloud just get bigger. Obviously, you can see that little front right there. And what we can do here on that, we can kind of look at the model, stop that radar model, but I want to look at the surface. I want to look at dew points. And you kind of see what I just said about that front right there. You can kind of see that. Get my pen out here. See if I can get that thickness just a little bit bigger so you guys can read that easy. Right through there, as you kind of see that front. As you saw, that's where those storms are starting to fire right along that front there, your dry line or that boundary. So start with that warm, moist air is meeting that the drier air. That's kind of right where those storms are forming along that red line. And the same thing up in there too. So yeah, we can look at temperatures too. Someone asked that. Back to temperatures. And you can kind of see again, that's where those storms are firing is on that temperature gradient. I'll probably see where there's a cold front pushing through. Um, Pull that pen back up and kind of draw it out for you guys here. You know, right through there, kind of where that those storms are firing. You know, just right off in front of that. That's the temps. Kind of just did the dew points. The wind. As you can see here in the state of Kansas, you have a lot of north wind here. That's where it's pushing that cooler, drier air down to the south. Down here in Oklahoma, we have some more of that southwest wind pumping in some more of that moisture. So looks like that low center, or that low, I would say, let me get rid of my pen here so I don't draw all this I just did, um, like that. So it looks like this low up north centered about right here. Kind of see those winds rotating around. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings in Oregon. That's for quarter size hail. Let's just go look at that. I don't draw all over the screen again. X out of that. Radar. That. Oregon. There it is. Current thing right there. You know, nothing real big. It does have quite a bit of lightning, and I know they're very dry out west, so that that lightning is not a good thing out there for these wildfires that have been happening out there. Um, Kind of pull up the thing. I think, like it said, it was 1 inch hail. 306, a severe thunderstorm warning was located near Unity or 28 miles southwest of Baker City, Oregon, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter size hail. So radar indicated again. That is until 3:45 Pacific time. So yeah, kind of go back over these areas here to see if we got any more. It's about the same ones. Kind of look at this flood warning that they got posted now. Yeah, 1 to 2 inches an hour that has fallen. So please be on the lookout for that. Any warnings there? So definitely some heavy rain going in there. A lot of lightning. The one thing we can check out too is and my granddaughter pop in here. One thing we could check out too was we were looking at those echo tops, see if they've gotten any bigger. Storm's still maturing, or if it's kind of staying where it is. Still about that 50,000 feet there. So this one down towards Raymar, Colorado. That one's definitely getting bigger. That was about 46 earlier. It's at 53 now, so that one's definitely getting bigger. Go back to radar here. We'll play that in motion here. Kind of just looking at live chat here. Zoom fully out here and do just the nationwide. radar. Kind of see the storm reports out here to the southeast, Virginia, West Virginia, North and South Carolina. A lot of wind reports. Large tree limbs down. So yeah, there's some other storms going here. There's nothing severe warned right now. These are reports from earlier this afternoon. As you can see, the thunderstorm wind damage, you can kind of see that up in that upper ticker when it scrolls back through. Like Minnesota's got some storms firing up there. Yeah, we'll go over the tropics one more time here in Hawaii. Before we log off here, I just wanted to get on and kind of bring in those areas. So if you guys were watching, kind of there's that eye wall that's moving through just south of the island there. Kind of let that play through. This is the main reason why we kind of got on here to go over this severe or Hawaii's hurricane that's moving through. Earlier we did have some 70-mile-an-hour wind reports. 72 just on the eastern side eye wall there. You can kind of see on the cursor there as it's going through. Like the top one I saw was 74. Yep. So they're going to be getting on the coastline here very shortly with the stronger winds as the hurricane pushes off. Kind of do a model again for you guys of the outlook of where the hurricane's going to track. Pull that up for you guys. It's going to say it's just south of that island, but you're going to get these outer rain bands that are really going to be pushing into the island. As you saw on that radar, they're coming this way up into there. So you're going to get all that rain of the hurricane swooping up in there. As that storm pushes off, it's going to become a tropical storm out here. I feel like John Madden drawn on the TV for football. All these marks. So yeah, that's why we're on here. We're covering this hurricane here. Definitely stay tuned. We'll keep you guys alert here. I'll finish off with just radar, guys. Storm kind of just goes south of the island again. Strongest winds are going to hit that southern part of the island. It's not going to be a direct hit, but it's going to get those heavier winds. Up to that velocity one more time before we sign off. Let you guys look at that. Right along the coast right now, 70 to 73-mile-an-hour wind gusts in those darker shades of blue. They're moving through. 74. You're definitely stay alert on these islands. Looks like the highway there between towns are taking a direct hit. Right in the town, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So that's definitely severe thunderstorm warned. So down here we have hurricane warning out. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off here. If we get any more severe weather, we'll get back on here later on tonight and we'll fill you guys in. But right now we just got that severe thunderstorm watch till 10 p.m. Mountain Time. We kind of went over all these warnings already, so just stay weather aware. Keep watching. If we do break live, you'll see it. So subscribe, like, and follow us. And so next time we do go live, you automatically get the alert. All right, guys, thanks for watching.